mind's eye, and through the necessity of the third eye, we find ourselves along the landslides of different frequencies that have us flying inside of ourselves to recognize our greater potential inside. Yeah. And as we try to align with Tesla, yesterday was a big report about Tesla and all the different aspects of how it's looking to influence the future and the future. Oh yeah. So we are trying to align today in today's episode by trying to be able to make a cognition that relates to the ability to be able to align with the conceptualization of how Tesla is best suited to be able to find talent that is in essence super helpful at helping the ability for the cumulative cluster of different companies, and as he put it, different plates that he is spinning, keeping them spinning efficiently. So he's got plenty of resources, then I'm talking about Elon Musk, of course, to be able to keep different plates spinning, but at the same time, it's necessary for me to be able to try to find a fundamental foundational team as we try to move towards the Hong Kong vicinity at an unnecessarily known time in the future. Oh yeah, so anyways, we're trying to develop a team that is able to develop teams. Oh yeah, similar to Elon Musk and Tesla, I guess you could say, even though it's not necessarily that easy, but just I'm saying the foundational team is to be able to develop more teams. That's the foundational purpose of the foundational initial team, is to try to be able to develop more teams. Try to develop more teams, and especially there's a lot of unknowns in the Asian region and market necessarily, so we're just trying to develop a foundational presence to be able to process certain conceptual future deal flow. And there's also the competition of artificial intelligence, so we're realistically just through the essence of waiting and holding out in terms of just trying to develop something that corresponds to the essence of the market status to be able to try to align with market status energy to be able to flow next to artificial intelligence energy, and also try to be able to make like avatars for Dinky Tech Change for Games, Dinky Tech and Change for Games Studios. That is corresponding to trying to avatar myself. Tried to make an avatar for Dink Tech avatar. I said Dinky Tech before, but we've shortened it to Dink Tech. So Dink Tech, we're trying to make that avatar and also animated characters that are AI to be able to sort of spread around the world in essence, but be able to have myself do music shows in essence, and then at the same time also try to lead the charge for the AI avatars in essence to be able to be translated into different languages in every single country in the world by doing music shows that are live in Hong Kong in essence, to be able to start to do busking live, digital busking live from Hong Kong, digital DJ busking live from Hong Kong, hopefully sooner than later, hopefully like sometime in soon enough time, sometime. That's the hope, that's the intention, that's the purpose. We've just sort of been gathering some tools to be able to start to be able to stream and do live busking, live development of live music in essence from Hong Kong in essence. It'll be a combination of some different variables to be able to try to develop that live presentation and format, also corresponding to different interviews and such things that correspond to the essence of trying to spread electricity in every single country around the world and trying to attack philanthropy, in essence trying to attack philanthropy from all angles, trying to be able to develop different ways for methodologies for different team-making processes and trying to leak different energy towards different processes in the future, and also trying to develop a technology company with a similar fashion to like today, for example, we were entertaining the concept of like affiliating with a remote golfing company brand in essence that does remote golf courses for every single golf course in the world from the inside of people's houses and from inside the comfort of their houses, sort of trying to develop a white label brand for this company, for example. And so it's something like that where we're able to innovate on existing products that have certain higher price ranges to be able to try to sell and make sales for these type of products in essence, and then combine that with the essence of the live shopping culture in China to be able to try to leverage a high connection with certain aspects of certain influencers in the Chinese region and or in the south, that region of the world in essence, to just be able to try to connect and develop collaborations with all different countries around the world, especially music people, especially music artists, to develop weird music processes, weird music production, weird music that is just overlapping and strange, to be able to try to develop continuous views, ongoing views, and then continue to pipeline that attention into philanthropy in essence. So we're trying to start with collaborations in this sort of Chinese market, in the Hong Kong market, but then also trying to dial into different musical collaborations and artistic collaborations with all, artists that are out there to be able to develop interesting live performances, live and scheduled performances that are kind of like flash mobs, but then again, kind of like scheduled performances that are live, that can take place within the street, among the street, that can also take place and lead into different aspects of philanthropy, like different dominoes basically that fall down next to each other, like dominoes that are like philanthropy dominoes, that are performance art dominoes that domino into different philanthropy, for example, so that different philanthropy and performance art can leak together in essence for sort of developing the future of this type of performance art that corresponds to different countries having the ability to collaborate and having different performances be able to occur in real life, so that in essence one domino is able to lead to another domino, in essence kind of like passing the torch in the Olympic Games, in essence, because this is like a game. This is the purpose of making like philanthropy flash mob games. Philanthropy flash mob games, in essence, is in this purpose by developing these dominoes, where in essence we're passing the torch, just like in the Olympic Games, down the line, going from one person to another, using the essence of like live shopping, for example, but at the same time leveraging the essence of more or less like a flash mob, but it's a philanthropy flash mob that is like in the form of dominoes, so it goes from one country to another, and at the same time it corresponds to different artists of all kinds, scientists, different people, scientists, lawyers, legal people, doctors, coming outside of their houses to be able to develop and have this corresponding different aspects of performance art that's able to come together and leak into different people and different people's personalities, different countries, different aspects of different countries, to be able to develop interesting, ongoing freestyle philanthropy, in essence, to be able to leak out onto the streets of different people's places, in different people's neighborhoods, in different aspects of the world, in different countries all around the world, to be able to connect all different aspects of philanthropy flash mobs together, so that in essence there's a correspondence that corresponds to philanthropy freestyling. It's like philanthropy energy, freestyling energy. So these dominoes are able to trickle out into every single country into the world, so that philanthropy energy freestyling is possible to happen through this energy that can correspond and come about into the streets that we're trying to develop through like live shopping energy, or like live, music busking in Hong Kong, for example, type of energy, to be able to just spawn different interviews, which corresponds to the ability to get people to agree in different countries to do different sort of interesting sort of art aspects, art developments, art elements that correspond to the artistic nature that relates to what's inside of the aspects of every single human being on the planet, because every single human being, just based on the nature of humanity and themselves and asset energy and happiness in of itself and in general, corresponds to the nature of every single person in the world having a taste of some kind, which then corresponds to their artistry inside, because if they have a taste, it means they're able to curate their own food, they curate their own choices, they curate their own things that they choose in every single day life. It makes every single person an artist just based on that alone. So every single person has that ability to be able to emit a certain frequency of positivity and correspond to the global philanthropy energy games, that corresponds to global philanthropy dominoes, that corresponds to global philanthropy freestyling, global philanthropy energy freestyling, global philanthropy energy artistic freestyling, global philanthropy energy artistic freestyling, that corresponds to neighborhoods, streets, countries, and it can hopefully trickle down the streets of every single street in the whole entire world, just like the wave at a baseball game, for example, or any kind of a game where everybody in the world does the wave, and all of that wave and that current and that energy within the crowd and the audience and the energy corresponds to every single person in the audience, and that therefore it includes every single person in the energy wave pool of the whole entire game, including the players on the team and the players on the field and the people in the audience, and everybody becomes one energy at that time, where everything is circulating in the essence of sound and frequency and vibrations, and at the same time the physical act and the movement and the motion that corresponds to the wave that is generated among sports teams, within sports games, within sports arenas, is corresponding to the eventual flow that corresponds to global philanthropy energy, global philanthropy energy, global philanthropy energy waves, global philanthropy energy freestyling, global philanthropy energy games, that corresponds to global philanthropy energy dominoes, that corresponds to global philanthropy energy freestyling, global philanthropy energy freestyling, global philanthropy energy freestyling, global philanthropy energy freestyling. Thanks again. Bye, Ding Tech. Bye, peace. Bye. Bye, Ding Tech. Change for Game Studios. Bye, peace. Bye.